Hi guys. Hi guys, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi. I'm praying on Latin America for this Wi-Fi tonight to fail me. Hello. uh, it's so difficult. Hello, Mika. I came back actually because first I don't like to leave things pendant or halfway. I think that of course that the internet cut off. It wasn't my fault, but I was like, oh, it ended so abruptly. So, so I was like, oh, I have to come back. I like to give a proper ending to things. I don't like to leave it just and leave days between that. And also I wanted to try this new time, this new um, time zone. I don't know what time is it in your countries or where you're from. Here in mine, it's 10 a.m. So if you hear my voice, it's a bit it's a bit taken. It's because it's morning here. Hello. Wow. Actually, oh, it's 8 a.m. Actually, I'm seeing a lot. Oh, it's 6. Oh, it's evening. Yeah. Um, Actually, I see a lot of more people joining now. Hi, Parvati. Um, than when I did it yesterday. At the time that I do it. So I'm from the UK. It's one. Wow, it's 1 p.m. Oh, that's very. Yes, we have a lot of hours of difference. Yes. So yeah, 3 hours of difference. Yeah. That's what I was considering actually while doing my lives, Parvati, because actually you mentioned yesterday that you are from India, and from what I could see from the measures of the statistics of my channel, there are a lot of people from from Asia, from Indonesia. There's a lot of people from all those parts. So I was like, oh, I have to reach to them, also. Of course that you can watch it later, but I think that probably if there are people that want to ask questions, they want to participate. I wanted to try this new time to see if more people can join. But we always have fun. We are a few, but we always have fun. We always come up with great subjects. So, yeah. How is the start of your week going? I don't know if I should say, but the so-called big channels are so gossipy for me, at least. Yeah, yeah. That's why, when I mentioned the other day that I want to keep this like a sort of private, and not to say like a private club or something like that, but I think that it's important for you to be able to, okay, you can join a live, but also it's good to participate, and not to just say random things. Or I see that every time someone new joins in the live, you are very welcoming with the person that entered. You respect each other's turn. You don't talk over each other. So I think that this mood right here is the best. Of course, that we are a few, but I think that it's more enjoyable actually to watch. Because I also get a bit anxious if I see like a lot of comments and I'm like, oh my God, I didn't respond to that one. But I'm also getting used to this, doing live. I'm not professional yet. Actually, I'm planning to do it on my computer because I'm using my phone to do it. So maybe on my computer I can read the comments better. But well, this is this is what it is right here. So what in what did we left yesterday? We were talking about something. Because I don't want to leave things like hanging in the air. I want to finish the readings. Thank you for the likes, guys. I can see that you are very, very fast in when it comes to putting the likes, so I appreciate it. Because even myself, when I am on someone's live, sometimes I wait for the live to end and then I press the like button. But for you to do it like at first, I really appreciate it. I was watching Twice concert videos in Oakland. Oh, they are so beautiful. Like, my God, I saw a few TikToks of people like recording them, and they are so beautiful. I mean, I'm not watching them in person, but I think that the person that is recording them is. And they are I mean, I know that definitely they work with their image and they have to be beautiful. But, watching that fan cams and stuff, I'm like, oh my God, the beautiful females, beautiful, beautiful. And the energy. I don't understand how these girls are not even more recognized. Because, to be honest, I'm not a once. I'm not an official fan, but I enjoy every song of them. And if you were like, oh, do you have the chance to buy a ticket from them? I would buy them. I would go to a concert of them. I would. Even not knowing the half of the songs, probably I don't know the B-sides, I don't know, the details, but I would go because these girls are amazing. And I'm so happy to see, I never get her name right, Jeojong, is it? Jeojong is so, her name is so long. Um, the one that was absent, I think it's Jeojong, but you know who I'm talking about. I'm so happy to see her there. Like, oh, if I was there when she was presenting, I would be like shouting and clapping for her because she's so brave. She's a brave soul. I don't know what she went through, but definitely I know that it was tough. John. So, you know, and also with the change of appearance, you know, yes, John. It had happened to me. I mean, now that I'm older, I have thyroid or thyroid. I don't know how you call it, how it's pronounced, thyroid. So actually, I'm much like I gained a lot of weight, and because I'm working from home, I also gained a lot of weight. I used to be really skinny. Um, so um, the body weight fluctuation, it's an emotional roller coaster for a regular person. I'm just talking from my experience. So I cannot imagine for her to be this exposed. And even if people praise you about your current body size or body weight, they are like, oh, you look better like that. There's a part of you that you don't want your body to be mentioned. You just want people to look at you in the eyes, and be like, yeah, I know my body's changed, but, please don't remind me. Let's not talk about that. It's a huge, and especially if you're on medication, because, oh, thank you, Vita Sweet. Thank you. That's actually the reason. I think that if I would have to introduce myself to someone new, I think that I would like to call my content something that, yes, it's been done before, but it has like a deeper meaning. Because for me, I am very passionate about the things that I learn or that I know or that I like. So once I start talking about something, I cannot stop. I cannot be a superficial level. I am a Moon Scorpio, so I always have to go deeper, the deeper meaning, like what's behind this. I know this is a regular image, but I'm seeing much more. I'm seeing beyond. And for so many years, I actually was a bit like, I had so many tarot decks since I was a teenager, and I would always read them for myself, but I was afraid to show it to people, that regular people, because I didn't want people to be like, oh, she's into witchcraft, or she is a psychic, she's going to read my fortune, or you're going to put a spell on me, or you're going to cast a spell on me. Here, at least in my country, there was a lot of like, there was a lot of judgment when it comes to tarot, and of course, this is actually the reason why actually there are a lot of tarot readers that actually do not know how to read cards. They just are dramatic. They just tell you, they pick on your biggest fear and they hang on to that, and they are like, oh, you have something, like something bad is going to happen to you. So it's normal for people to have to be afraid. So I was afraid too. So I remember I kept all my decks like hidden, like yeah, yeah, but I got brave actually, because I was like, I'm not, yeah, like I want to be able to communicate you the options that you have without scaring you. But at the same time, I want you to know that if I see that there's something for you to fix or there's a challenge for you to overcome, I'm going to point it out. The cards are going to point it out for me, and I'm going to have to be honest and being like, yes, I'm seeing something here. Because if I'm not honest as a tarot reader, and I had, I had gone to tarot readers that I actually people that I know are my colleagues, are my friends, and they did a reading on me, and they gave me this talk about the light, the positive thinking, the philosophical side of things, life is what it is, and about the universe, and I was like, but you didn't answer my question. Like, you know, the tarot doesn't determine your future, but it does give you some signs. So you should be able to connect with the tarot. You cannot leave a consultation or a tarot reading without you actually being like, oh, I didn't understand. Or she actually, for example, for idols, it does happen this thing that I do the readings and then someone in the comment sections is like, oh, but you didn't talk about this. And I'm like, I already read them. Like, there's no order in the tarot. There's no like, oh, here we are going to talk about his aspect. And then we're going to talk about his private life. And then we're going to talk about his health issues. There's no, the cards just tell you a story. And view with negativity for the past years is gonna, yeah, but you know what, you know, guys, I'm 37 years old. So I got my first tarot deck when I was 14. I actually bought it for myself. And I bought these magazines, these very old magazines that had the meanings. So you can say that I've been doing this actually for a while. And what is going on with the tarot, and I think that it's not just me the one that talks about it, but what's going on with the tarot and the spiritual community is that everything has to be aesthetic, and that you can have beautiful tarot decks. You can have all the tarot decks that you want. But if you cannot read the cards, you can have one tarot deck and be a great tarot reader. I think that there's something about, and the same thing happened with crystals. Like these channels talking about energy, the energy, you have to have this huge crystal that costs a lot of money to be a spiritual gifted or to be so what I'm saying is that there's a huge consumption and business in hello Asal, um, in the tarot, and there's so much tarot decks available, people, creators, obviously, doing them. And then there are like the ones that uh, are not the real, like they are copies. I have one of those. I have a copy actually, that I bought them to teach my friends that they wanted me to do this sort of like lecture. So I bought a fake one so I can print it and like put it on a paper and write words about the meanings. But yeah, don't do that because actually it's not beneficial for the creator themselves. You have to support that they put the effort to actually. But yes, people buy fake ones because it's cheaper and you can have, for the same amount of money, you can have a lot. That only have good things. Yes, yes. I don't trust them either. It's just that there's something in me that rejects them. It's like I know you want to give a positive message, but life is not about positivity only. You cannot rely on positivity only. I know that probably, yes, to say something, that's why I always, I very careful when I try to describe a difficult or challenging situation for an idol when I see it, because I don't want people to panic. I don't want people to go and be like, oh, like, he's going through a depression, because the word, and this is something that I think that it should be addressed, that there are people talking about um, mental health, uh, mental health issues, and they are like labeling their artist without having a diagnosis. So if your idol is sad, or he's depressed, or if your idols look a bit distracted, or he's anxious, so it's like, be careful with the, and I think that that's very dangerous, because, and disrespectful at the same time, because there are so many people dealing with real mental health issues, and they are not on the internet typing. Of course, that being an idol is stressful, and it can trigger a lot of things. As you grow older, you understand it. So yeah, yes, it's maybe that, but it also creates this panic and this alert mode, and this sort of hysteria, and it's like, you are affecting others. Why? I understand that you're worried, but it's like, sometimes that kind of worry can spread faster than something good, for example. I had the other day, someone commented on my video, I think it was the hobby video, the J-Hope video, that she was worried about Jimin, because Jimin seemed depressed. I don't remember the details, but she was like, oh, I want you to read for Jimin, because Jimin seemed depressed, because Jimin seemed anxious, because something happened, he said this and this. And I was like, oh, I didn't know Jimin was in that state. Like, because the thing I knew about Jimin was that he had COVID, and that he had his appendicitis surgery, but I didn't know he was like depressed or something like that, because, like I mentioned in my old in my previous life, I don't follow like BTS. Like, I follow their music, but I don't follow what they communicate on their websites, or in the communication that they do with the fans. But I had I had two best friends that are armies, so I talk about. I'm sorry, guys, I'm back again. I put on my data just in case, but oh my god. So I talked with someone that is an army, and I was like, what's going on with Jimin? Is something wrong with Jimin? And she was like, no, why? And the thing was that there was an army that talked about how she was struggling with her life. That I think she felt a bit lost, and she described her situation, that she wasn't very motivated, and Jimin responded to that message, giving her strength, and suddenly, I don't know why, people thought that the one, or interpreted that the one that wrote the part of being depressed and feel unmotivated was actually Jimin. And actually, no, it was the army, the one that started this conversation and this comment. So that's why, this is why sometimes I'm like, please, guys, if you want to ask a tarot reading, please, like, check very well what you want to ask, because the tarot is not a toy. You know, that's sometimes what I want to say. Like, I do this because I love K-pop and I love sharing the tarot. But it's like I'm not going to pull cards because of some random rumor. You know, it loses for me. You know, because then I go with someone that is really struggling in their everyday life, and it's like let's keep us real. And yeah. And also, let's not panic, because if you panic, it's so. So, do you have questions, guys? Because I'm worried about this live ending because of my poor Wi-Fi. But uh, let's hope not. But if you have questions, I think someone asked me or mentioned me, San, that he had COVID, that he got COVID, how he was doing, something like that about AT, San. Do you think K-pop groups that have a lot of one zodiac sign are affected? What do you mean with one zodiac sign? I'm, so, I'm sorry. Well, actually, if it's a card that you pull for yourself, is for you to guess it. It's for you to interpret it because you are the one that pull it. But I can tell you a bit about the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is an energy that it's all about. First of all, it's a queen, so definitely the energy is she's more powerful than the other characters. She is in a level of power and status. This is why she's sitting comfortable in her throne. You see, we have different cards, different characters in the tarot. We have the page, that the page is always standing. We have the knights, that the knights are always on horses. And then we have the king and queens, that they are sitting in their thrones comfortably. So what actually the Queen of Cups, it's all about emotional fulfillment. So definitely you can be potentially this source of nurturing for others. You can find yourself also this year like being this sort of like, I wouldn't say like you take care of others, but you are going to be this referent, this inspiration for others. They are going to look up to you. They are going to go up to you for advice. They are going to rely on you. Um, if it's okay to ask, is Jimin is my bias? He seems happier to me than stays. That has a majority or has a majority of what? Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to finish with the Queen of Cups, then I'm going to answer to Vita question, and then I'm going to go with Jimin. Okay, wait for me. So yeah, the Queen of Cups, it's all about having the power, but you being loving and understanding and compassionate with the power that you own. If you are the ruler or if you are in a position of power, you have to use your feelings, your emotional world to influence others. Like use your emotions, your sensitivity. Just the fact that you got this Queen of Cups, it means that this year is going to be very emotional for you. And that you're going to be in control of these emotions. It's not going to be like you're going to be crying all over the place. No, because you are in this queen. You are in this queen mode. So even though you are sensitive and you are profound, you're also in this role of power. So a lot of people will be watching what you do. So you have to like pay extra care attention to what you do, what you say, how you affect others, be empathic, be understanding, like give yourself to others, but also put boundaries, like not too much. Like respect yourself because you are, or you are going to be in a position of power that is going to put you in a higher level than the others. But the others are going to respect you because of your kind nature. So yeah. Wait. I talk too much, guys. I have to have to drink water. Next time, next live, if this hour actually works, I'm going to try to do it on Sunday. Sunday, 10 a.m. my time, like this time, but Sunday. And oh, my hair is crazy. Um, and also, I'm going to bring my mate so you can see Argentinian. Uh, yeah, my Argentinian national drink. So hello, hello, Esliam. Um, so yes, let's go with what Vita said about the same fire sites, the same sites. I actually do see a pattern, not in the same group, but I see like a pattern in what the a strong influence of planets are. For example, for the leaders, there's a lot of Capricorn energy, especially in the third generation, in the generation of God 7, in the generation of Twice, in the generation of, yeah, the third generation, they have a lot of Moon in Capricorn, Capricorn, Venus in Capricorn, Capricorn Sun, as leaders. There's a strong Capricorn Mars as well. They have, but in the same group, I don't see actually like affecting them to be the same sign, because actually they express it very differently. For example, let's take a very famous group so we can understand a bit. Um, okay, yeah. Um, okay, okay, just let's do this. I need to get a pen and paper. Let's go with what I was saying. I'm saying to Vita, then I'm going to talk about Jimin, and then we're going to talk about Jen, okay? We're going to stop the list there, and then we will, okay? So I don't get mixed. So yes, I think that, for example, let's take BTS. BTS has two Virgos, that it's Namjoon and JK. Then it has um, Jimin, that is a Libra. Hi Putri. Then we have Jin, that is a Sagittarius, Jungi, that is a Pisces, and Hobby, that is an Aquarius. So we can say, okay, in BTS we have two Virgo, but they are totally different expressions of Virgo, and not because RM is the leader and JK is the magnet. I focus a lot on their moon signs, on their emotional reaction. And they do have a few things in common, but at the same time, they are very different. In the sense that Namjoon has a moon in Sagittarius. I mean, they both have fire moons, because Namjoon has a moon in Sagittarius and JK has a moon in Leo. So they are both fire moons. But what happens is that in Virgo you have two different kinds of Virgo. You have the Virgo that it's a bit like intellectual or the nerdy kind of side, a bit of a nerd, and you have the one that is a bit more wild, outgoing, and a bit more like athletic, you know, and a bit not much into studying, but it's good. It's a fast learner for sports and stuff. So, and they are not very intelligent, or they are not interested in intellectual things. So, in this sense, we have the two representations of Virgo because we have RM that is very intellectual, but he is also intellectual because of his moon in Sagittarius. Because his moon in Sagittarius, it allows him to be expansive. And also, this is why he's so tall, because this is why he has long extremities. This is why sometimes he's so clumsy, he breaks things and stuff. It's because of his moon in Sagittarius. And actually, even though he is very intelligent and he can learn different languages, and he can like give great speeches that can reach to a lot of people. At the same time, uh, he's a bit naive about other things, you know, about other things that when it comes to one-on-one relationships, probably he's a bit distracted with being productive and being intellectual and being hardworking and working on himself, you know, and not so good at one-on-one relationships, you know, because of that moon in Sagittarius that it's always wants to expand, you know, he wants to do great things for society. So he's busy, you know, and JK, because JK it's a moon in Leo, so he definitely was born to be the magnet. This is why he's called the golden magnet, because the golden color reminds us of the sun, and and the Leo is the sun of the zodiac. So this is why he is the golden magnet, because of his moon in Leo. He was born to be in the spotlight. Because actually, if you see a Virgo sun loving the spotlight, you will never get a Virgo sun that loves that exposure. But actually, for JK, it's a bit, even though he can doubt himself a bit, he can also, with this moon in Leo, he can access a bit to that sort of confidence, at least when he is on stage. Then, when he gets off the stage, he is his awkward self again, because he is a Virgo. And also, one of the things that JK has that um, probably Namjoon doesn't have, or RM, is that I think he has a Libra rising, and his Venus is also in Libra. So he's a romantic. So he has this sort of very gentle vibe that he can be very, he can sing about love and you will buy what he sings, because he has this sort of energy that it's a bit more gentle than being just an earth sign, a Virgo, just a Virgo, or being a Leo moon. You know, he has like this sort of gentleness, and he's very delicate, and he's very Venusian, you know. And but what I do find like correspondences and actually coincidences is when they share the same moon sign. So let's take again BTS as an example. Taeyeon is a Capricorn. Jin is a Sagittarius. What they have in common? That moon in Aries of them. They both have moon in Aries. Of course, that it's not the same being in Capricorn with the moon in Aries that is Sagittarius with the moon in Aries. Because for Jin, since he is a fire sign already, it's much more comfortable to have a fire moon. You know, for him to be outgoing, to be, you know, to be like funny, to be goofy, to be all the time like energetic. For him, it's known, you know. But he also has Venus in Capricorn, so you know he does have a big old Capricorn as well. When when the thing happened, the sort of confrontation that they did have, that this is a scene that is being played everywhere for years. I think the army knows um, about this disagreement or this sort of, I wouldn't say fight. It was more like a discussion between them, and a misunderstanding, and people like are keep bringing that like, well, oh, when they fought. And actually, I wasn't surprised when I saw their pictures that actually is Jean and Tay the one that got into a fight, and that things escalated very soon in that brief moment of, it wasn't about the subject because it was about the choreography, but their energy, especially the moon sign, because we are talking about emotions. So their emotional, when you have a moon in Aries, you are really good at picking, like, oh, you are putting rejection, uh, you are putting like energy towards me. So I'm going to fight you. I'm going to resist you. I'm going to oppose you. If you say that this is white, I'm going to say that this is black, just to fight. Because Moon in Aries is like this, it's very confrontative. But for them, it's not long lasting. They can get upset. I had a friend that would always get upset by something. I was like, oh my God, who did you fight with today? He would always tell me, like, oh, I'm angry at this person. You don't know what this person said to me. Always angry. But will it last? No. Then you would see him like 5 years late. I'm sorry, 5 minutes later, like talking to that person normally, hugging them. So for them to be angry at each other, it wasn't that big of a deal. Of course, that being recorded, like, oh, we shouldn't be watching this. Oh, idols that have different opinions about, like, it shocked a lot of people. But this is what I want to say. I guide more about their moon signs that actually, I mean, I see more, hi Sam, I see more like a coincidence there, or a compatibility, or something in common between them, than actually just the sun sign. But it's complex, so I'm sorry that it's complex to explain. Um, but yes, so I hope I made myself understood. I take the moon signs very seriously. Oh, thank you. Thank you. You will see, once you start paying attention to the moon sign, just start you will see that there's also this correspondency between the moon sign person and the sun sign person. So, for example, I am a Capricorn sun, but I always had this friend of mine, that she was an Aries, but she was a moon in Capricorn. So she would always, like, it seems like she would always gravitate towards me, because her emotional world is ruled by the Capricorn energy, by the Saturn energy. So when she saw me as the representation of how she feels, but with me integrating it, with me expressing it outwards. This is what happens to me when I meet, yeah, this is what actually happens to me when I meet Scorpio Sun people. I actually feel attracted to them emotionally. I feel like they are a representation of everything that I am on the inside. So I gravitate towards them to kind of like feel closer to my inner struggles, because since it's a moon sign, it's on the inside, so you can express it like fully. But the person that has it on the sun sign, yes, they can. So sometimes this is why I argue with Scorpio people, because they are like, oh, you should get over, you should let go of things, and I'm like, I cannot let go of things. I cannot just let go of things. I get fixated on things. I do not forget nor forgive easily. And then I have a Scorpio person being like, oh, you should let go of it. You shouldn't make Like, you know, they are like in this model or in this level of wisdom, but because they have the energy of a Scorpio on the outside, I have it on the inside. So for me to actually recognize, um, to for me even to be able to talk about my emotional tendencies, you know, I was like, oh, maybe if I meet someone of my same moon sign, maybe they would understand. Yes, someone with the same moon sign as you, they would understand you. But the one that has the sun sign, yes, they will understand you, but since they are one step farther because they are integrating that energy already, they will be like, oh yes, I've been there, but I moved on. It's not that big of a deal. And for you, it's like, are you serious? Like for me, it's a whole struggle. It's you know, it's chaotic in here. And when you have a water moon, it's chaotic. And NK, when you said that your sun and moon are on the same sign, it actually means that you are lucky because you are on the exterior and the interior. You have the same energy, so there's no like there's no like um, discrepancy between what you represent on the outside, it means your personality that everyone sees, and who you are on the inside. So there's a sense of what I communicate or what I show to others is what I feel inside. You know, this is what it's like when you have the same sign in the sun and the moon. Yeah, but the rising actually doesn't. The rising, it takes a lot to integrate. Actually, it takes a lot to integrate. It's not easy to integrate the rising, especially because it's an energy that you are supposed to be developing in time. You know, like don't rush with the rising. It's like, yes, it will guide you. It will guide the path or put you in situations where you actually can connect with that energy, but don't try to identify too much for it, because we have times in our lives where we identify the most with our sun, then we go through times where we identify more with the moon, then we go through times where we identify more with the rising. It's all, you know, very dynamic, so don't force it. Like, just flow with and also be curious about the rest of your chart, you know, especially your Venus. You know, for example, in my case, I did a struggle for years with I have Venus and Mars in Pisces. So, you know, for me to be a Capricorn and having that Pisces energy, that makes me actually be nicer to people when I actually want to kill them. Like, you know, it wasn't a favorite energy. I have nothing against Pisces people, but I think that sometimes Pisces can be a bit like, it gives me this tendency to avoid certain, especially when it's in Mars. It gives you this sort of avoidant kind of, you know, like reaction where instead of fighting people, you are like, oh, it's okay, I understand. Yes, yes, like namaste, you know. Yeah, it's like, why would you put a sign like that? Didn't you give me like a Mars in Capricorn? You know, I would be like, like I wouldn't be procrastinating. I would be like, you know, already like uh, doing all the things that I have to do now, you know. But Pisces energy is very loving, actually. It's very loving, and it has a lot of, especially when you are a female, you have a lot to bring to others. Um, I don't like when people show something else, but are. And what's your sign, NK? What sign is your sun and moon? Before I move on to Jimmy. And also, there's another thing about astrology that is about the aspects. It has a lot to do with a lot of influence where house it falls in. This is why you need to have a beer time, So, astrology is a lot of studies, a lot of complexity. I studied for 4 years, besides all the years that I taught myself. But people that study it, it's a never-ending process. Yes, Sagittarius, it's very blunt. Sagittarius is very blunt. Sagittarius, it's all about having fun, and it's also someone that it's really nice. It's really nice. Doesn't hold grudges. He had met. Yes, yes, and for me to be a moon in Scorpio that I hold grudges, and having a Mars in Pisces, I'm like, are you are you kidding me? Who made my birth chart? Like, there's no logic in this. There's no logic in this. There's Sagittarius, Moon in Taurus, and Mars. Oh, Mars in Libra also. Mars in Libra is a people's pleaser. Mars in Libra is like, it's and it's not about pleasing people. It's actually that you want to punch them in the face, but you can't because you are too nice. That's the reality. That's how I feel with my Mars in Pisces. And Mars is a sign of action. This is why it rules Aries. So it's not comfortable with having a very loving and compassionate and understanding sign. They want fight. They want, fire. They want, Mars is very comfortable in the signs of Aries, probably Scorpio also. Oh, Mars in Virgo. Yeah. Mars in Virgo, Mars in Virgo also gives you this sort of nervous tendency, where you tend to control your anger, just like, when you have OCD, you try to have everything on order so you don't lose your patience, so you don't lose yourself. So you do have a good system to actually hold yourself and not uh, not go crazy. But, Mars is not comfortable with that because Mars is supposed to be expressed. If you're angry at someone, I don't think that you should punch them in the face, like I said. Don't punch people in the face. But I think that sometimes it's very healing to tell people, to put people in their places, you know. And sometimes you do have this strong desire, especially in my case, I am Moon in Scorpio. I also am of the generation of Pluto in Scorpio. So yeah, Mars in Taurus. Mars in Taurus actually is really scary. Actually, any Taurus energy is scary because Taurus tends to be very patient and they are very observant and they seem like nothing affects them, but one day they are mad at you and they will not let it go. They will not let it go. Have you ever tried to push a bull? Mm-mm. They are not going anywhere. So yeah, it's a strong. I wouldn't want to get on a Taurus bedside. Mars in Gemini. Mars in Gemini is fun. Mars in Gemini is fun. This is why you like 10, because 10 it's a moon in Gemini. So 10 has this very, yes, he's a Pisces, but he has this chameleon, that he can turn into anything that he wants to be, and you will be applauding him because of his because of how artistic he is and how you cannot, like, yeah, but I would be afraid of that man. Shonu is a kind of person, I didn't pay much attention to him, but I watched a few like interviews with him present, and actually I was a bit like, this guy, like, I'm a bit like, why is he so contained, like, yeah, but Mars in Gemini, it's really, yeah, Mars in Aquarius as well, because they are air elements. So Mars in Gemini and Mars in Aquarius are all about movement. and changes. So as long as you are going through some kind of innovation or creative process in your life and having fun, you you can be, yes, you can have this kind of like tendency of actually being aggressive to people, not aggressive to face, but you would be like making jokes or trying to be funny, and I wouldn't want to say making fun of someone, but you would use humor as a mechanism of defense, in a sense of like being ironic, being sarcastic, using the humor a lot, being creative about how to defeat someone. Not a straightforward aggressive, but you would use your intellect a lot and your ideas a lot to to show your anger. You wouldn't show it like right away, but possibly with a lot of passive aggressiveness, like being all smiley and being all funny. But, within that humor, there's an attack. So it's interesting. Let's go with Jimin. Jimin, Jimin, Jimin. And then we have to go with Chen. Let's go with Jimin. The Eight of Wands. So Jimin he's moving towards something, a kind of project, or he's like, you're going to hear from Jimin very soon. Probably he's working on something, but you're going to hear from him really soon, which is going to surprise a lot of people because I hear actually people being really curious about his Instagram, why he's not publishing on Instagram, what's going on with Instagram, and actually he is like very busy, like focusing his energy. And also there's a bit of impatience, probably if he had to rest, or if he had to take a few days off, or of course that if he's ill or if he's sick, he has to rest. But I see him like really, like you will hear from him. Something is going to happen and you will hear it. But I don't see like someone else telling what happened. I see him like telling people about himself, probably communicating. But I think that there's something about, yes, I think that he's moving, he's really excited. And he's also very passionate about this. It's like, I don't see him like being, his energy being down or being or not being inspired. I actually see him like he has a Mars in Scorpio, guys. I don't see Jimin. Jimin can look really fragile on the outside because he looks cute. So his whole way to get to you is to act cute, and to act like very loving, very seductive, very Libra. Libra does that all the time. But he has Venus and Mars in Scorpio. So at the end of the day, he does manipulate the audience, and he does manipulate his own resources and his own skills to be the best and to also be intense, be personal. Jimin is the kind of person that if you would be like watching him, like talking to him, he would go to you like this, like look at you like this, very blunt, very straightforward. He's a goal achiever person. There's nothing that's going to stop Jimin. It's just that Jimin, he's a Libra, so he's indecisive. So he acts on this like, oh, I want to do this and then this. And he has a moon in Gemini. So he is like a lot of earth element, a lot of unexpected behavior. He's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, I'm bored. Oh, I don't know. Always changing, like always getting out of the people's reach. But the thing is that when he is decided that he wants to get the public's attention with his art, the way he expresses himself, he shows with his body and with his strength, he shows what he can do. So he lures you in. He's like, oh, here you are. Are you watching me? Okay, you're mine. And he grabs you. He grabs you and you cannot let go. Jimin is addictive. Jimin is an addictive artist. Wherever he does, you cannot stop watching him. It's like you cannot stop because he's so hypnotizing. You know, this is why I think do not confuse the Jimin person and the Jimin artist, because he when he has a goal, he goes after what he wants. Yes, another beater. Hi. About 10. Oh, what? Wait. About 10 who has moon because they have Mars. Huh? Oh, okay. I'm going to, okay. Wait, I'm collecting my thoughts because I know if I were a moon in Gemini, probably I would be like already like, okay, I'm going to tell you what. What I want to say with that correspondency is that um, there's no need for you to have the same sign in the same planet for you to have like this correspondency or where you to feel identified with that person. Actually, that person can have the same sign in other sign, for example, Mars and Moon, and there's a level of connection in there. You know, so possibly you do not have a moon in Gemini like him, but if you have Venus in Gemini or if you have Mars in Gemini, that side of your chart will feel like identified with the traits that sometimes 10 expresses. I always pay attention to the moon side, but let's also be reflective about, yeah, yes, it's like when I say the moon sign, actually, it's really hard to watch an idol express their moon sign unless they are a moon in Leo that you can watch them like display on stage because Leo is to be seen. But for example, when you have a water moon, you know, if I say, okay, the idols that have like a moon in Scorpio like me, you know, for example, we have Jenny, we have JB, we have NCT Shotaro, NCT, the Magne, how it's called, the Magne, Jisung. Then we have, there was another one. Oh, Jungwoo. So they can show a bit on camera the Scorpio traits, especially in the way they stare, in the way they have a lot of physical attributes of a Scorpio as well. But since it's a moon that is very reserved and it's a moon sign, and Scorpio is very secretive, you will probably not be able to see or witness their true moon Scorpio traits because they are on camera. That's what I want to say. But the moon sign has a lot of information, especially when we want to see the idols from a very more like human side. You know, if we want to know how they feel, how they process their emotions, if they are emotional. Because, for example, if you have a moon in Gemini, you probably are not that emotional. I mean, it doesn't mean that you do not have emotions. It means that you express your emotional world through words, through communication. And sometimes Mars in Gemini, they do the same. When they feel triggered, when they feel attacked, they start talking. They talk, they talk, they talk, they talk, you know, and they talk nonstop because the words, the communication style, it's all Gemini, it's all Mercury. So when you have Gemini in Mars, probably when you feel triggered, and when you are in moon in Gemini as well, when you feel nervous, when you feel triggered, when you feel emotional, you stop start talking nonstop, and sometimes you say very ridiculous things that you shouldn't say. But it seems like you cannot stay still, because your emotional reaction doesn't allow you to, you know. Oh, yeah, but Jejun is a Taurus moon. Jejun is Jejun. It's a Taurus moon. It's an Aquarius with a Taurus moon. That's why he looks so. Yeah, he looks so this. And when they call him Valentine Boy because he was born on Valentine's Day, the February 14, I think that it represents a moon in Taurus very like faithfully because they are ruled by Venus, the planet of love. So I love it for him. There's this small like um, cor- I wouldn't say correspondences, but oh well, for example, um, I don't know, my my name, for example, means butterfly. That actually the butterfly is a symbol. The butterfly is a symbol of transformation, rebirth. When you transform into something else, when you seek your potential, and you go through stages where you take off your old skin and you grow. And it's very painful. This is why it's called transformation. It's not just a change. And actually, a Scorpio, for example, in my case, that I'm a Scorpio, a Scorpio, it's all about transformation. So the fact that I got a name that it's very resonates with my emotional nature, it's actually very it's very fitting. It's very beautiful, and this is why NCT 127 Utah, um, he is a double Scorpio. He is a Scorpio Sun, a Scorpio Moon, and he has a tattoo of a butterfly. I didn't know he had it, but I saw a video that he has one. So for Scorpio people to have butterfly tattoos, I know that a lot of people have them. I know, but what I'm saying is that the Scorpio energy is all about the butterfly. It's all about the beauty of having to transform painfully. Because transformation, this is why I say to people, you going through a therapeutic process of you learning how to love yourself and learning to gain confidence in yourself, or dealing with traumatic experiences in your life. It's not glamorous. There's nothing beautiful with you going through grief, when you going through a loss, with you going through a change, with you losing your job, with you losing a friend, with you losing a loved one. There's nothing glamorous about that. People sometimes do glamorize a lot mental health issues, and it's not glamorous. It's really painful. This is why, if you have a mental health issue, or if you want to talk to someone about how you feel, do not expect K-pop and K-pop idols to save you. They are not your therapist. They can be nice to you, they can give you content to inspire you to be better, but the responsibility is yours. You need to go and seek help. You need to go and find uh, a tool, a service, a way of dealing with what's going on with you. Sometimes I am like, I read people that are like, no, because this group helped me go through a lot of difficult times, and I'm grateful to them because, and I understand because they do have that effect. I experienced that myself. But they are not your therapist. Sometimes in the lives I see people like actually asking the idols, oh, what can I do if I'm like, if I'm depressed and I don't know what to do and I don't want to leave and whatever, and the idol is like, they freeze in their space, because they are like reviewing in their minds, like, what's the right thing to say here. And this is not just the idols, it happens to all of us. When someone that you actually do not know, but you see, you relate with that person, and they tell you an awful and traumatic experience of theirs, you're shook because you're like, oh my God, like, you you just told me something very personal of you, and I don't know what to say. Like, I want to be nice to you. I want you to feel better. But there's a distance between you and me. And besides, they're not therapists. This is why sometimes I listen to people that are like, oh, my therapist is my best friend. And actually, your therapist cannot be your best friend. Because even to your best friend, you lie to your best friend or you hide things from yourself. Yes, because sometimes people do not know how to handle other people's emotions, and maybe the timing and the place is not correct. Especially for a K-pop idol, they are talking probably about very superficial things, like, oh, like, um, mm, yes, yes, it's like, but besides, it's like, oh, I know you went through depression, so I want you to talk about it because I want to learn more, because I think I feel the same. And it's like, this person, yes, he's an idol, but he is still hurting. He's in the process. So for you to bring it up as a subject of conversation is a bit invasive, and it's a bit disrespectful. Because it's not like, oh, you bought the same shoes that I own, so let's talk about shoes. We're talking about my very intimate, and in the case of isn't his name Minhyuk? No, it's not Minhyuk, it's the other guy, the guy with the Aries moon, the guy that looks so serious, Monster X. I'm sorry, but your comment just disappeared. This is why I want. Kihyun replies so many letters. Kihyun? Oh, I don't know Kihyun. I think I know. Changhyun, yes, that one. That one. Changhyun is the kind of person that I think that if you have issues, he will be the one to send you to the doctor. He would be like, go ask some help. I don't have the answers. And sometimes we do need those people. We do need those people that, yes, they can sound a bit mean, but you do need these people that are like, I don't have the answers. Like, go get a counselor. Like, save some money and go to a counselor because I don't know. Like, and it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes they don't have to. This is what yeah. I love Chang Hyun. I think he could be my bias. I think he could be my bias. Because I don't know. I don't think he talks too much, but actually, there's something about his face that he's very Moon in Aries. I actually thought he was an Aries for a second, because he's like, he has this sort of like very um I don't know how to say this. He seems very intimidating, like he is the one that will look at you like this. Like, and you're like approach with caution, like not too close. Like, like he would be like this, and I enjoy that very much because I find that very real. And that's the thing about the Moon in Aries people. They are very real. They are very real, very real. They are like, because it's their emotional world. We are talking about the moon sign, so it's like if he doesn't want to tell you something, he will not tell you. And maybe in the case like you mentioned about Kihyun, maybe in the case of Kihyun, since he has all these water elements, because he is a Scorpion, he is a moon in Pisces. You know, his moon in Pisces, it's inviting him to be expansive. So he wants to reach to everyone. So he wants his message or his wisdom to reach to as many people as possible. This is why he's so generous, and he tries to be there for different people that need an answer. You know, so he takes his time, he's patient, he's compassionate, you know, so this is the difference. You know, he's very in touch also with his emotional needs. Um, Yes, I agree that Changkyun is really sweet. Yes, because actually Aries it's the energy of the child. It's the child of the zodiac. So when you have like a moon in Aries, actually you are very connected with your inner child. This is why for him it's easy to say I. For him it's easy to say I want. I this. Because yes, he's an Aquarius, so Aquarius energy actually they belong to groups because Aquarius is all about community. But his moon in Aries is what allows him to be a bit selfish and be like, no, I don't agree with this. I think about this. I feel about this. You know, he's very honest about, and this is what makes him so lovable and so sweet, because there's no, you don't have to investigate so deep to get to him. Actually, if you ask him what's going on with him, he will tell you straight to your face. Does fire signs in the moon placement express it more out in the public than any? Yes, because it's like when you put something on fire. Yes, they tend to express it on public. On public, yes. Especially Moon in Aries. Moon in Aries, they tend to be really loud. When they speak, they are a bit aggressive. When they laugh really loud. Everything they do is very aggressive. Moon in Leo, yes, it's more about look at me, like oh I didn't dress for the occasion, but they come all glamorous, you know, like oh I just woke up like this, and they are all glamorous, you know. Moon in Leo is like the favorite child, you know, of if we have to compare like Moon in Aries, Moon in Leo, and Moon in Sagittarius, the moon in Leo would be like the chosen one. You know, the moon in Leo would be like, yes, he is the favorite one. He is the one that gets all the pretty things. um, and and Sagittarius, it's more. Sagittarius is like the rebellious teen. He's like the rebellious teenager that he just wants to leave the house. He wants to go live abroad. He wants to go experience the world. You know, he wanna. Yeah, Cancer Moon is very emotional. It's like Scorpio. You know, this I have a lot of friends that have Cancer moons, and all the time I have to convince them that no one hates them, that no one no one wants to affect them. You know, sometimes Cancer moon, they are very sensitive to people's opinions or what the people's reactions. So if you are too disconsiderate with them or a bit abrupt, they are always like, oh my God, that person hurt my feelings, or she or he did something that hurt my feelings. And they really mean it. Because actually, moon in Cancer, people, they are afraid, just like any water moon, we are afraid of exposure. So we don't like people telling us how to feel or how to not feel. For example, if I am saying something that I think I feel this way, and you come to me and you're like, oh, don't overreact. There's no need for you to overreact. Don't act crazy. Like slow down. Like, no, it's not what you think. Like, this is not how you're feeling. Like, you're overreacting. If you tell me this, you are like restricting me and also like taking away my power to tell you how I feel, that I put a lot of effort to tell you how you feel, and you are dismissing me. You are like telling me that what I feel is not real. So for you to tell a moon sign, like a moon in Cancer, a moon in Pisces person, like, oh no, you shouldn't feel like that. You're overreacting, and or laughing, or making fun of you because you feel the way you feel, is the worst thing that you can do. And then the moon in Cancer would grow. Yeah, yeah. That's why, because I am a Scorpio moon, I learned that I show my emotions to people that really deserve it. To people that don't have the emotional awareness or intelligence, or they just are not that emotional, I just don't talk about how I feel, because they don't understand it. They don't understand it. They don't empathize with you. They are busy with other things. Oh, so let's go. First, I'm going to take a bit of water. I should have brought my mate. That is the Argentinian traditional hot drink. That is very funny. A lot of people that don't know it are like, "Are you drinking grass?" Because it does look like grass. Um, yes, you learn that with experience. Oh, that's so nice, LIQ, that you have Moon in Leo. It's very nice, Moon in Leo. And also, Moon in Leo are really generous. I have my cousin that is a Moon in Leo, and she has a temper, definitely, because she's an Aries, so she's always fighting with someone. She's arguing with someone. But she's really generous. Whenever she gives me something, she's like, okay, what you need? I'll get it for you. They take from them to give it to you if they appreciate you. So Moon in Leo, they are very special. This is why sometimes they need to take care of not getting like scammed or tricked by people, because they are so generous that they can actually give things to strangers that are not very trustworthy. Let's go with 10. 10. Exo 10. 10 of Wands. 10 is going through a period of, he's really tired. And I think that you can see it here from this card. It's very explanatory, actually. He is like dealing with a lot of responsibilities. And probably this is about his family life, and about him being the provider, or him actually being the, the boss. So I think that um, he's really tired. He's really tired. And Chen also, he's also a moon in Cancer. Now now that we were talking about moon in Cancer, I think that Chen definitely feels very emotional and feels so responsible for everything. There's this sense of guilt. This is why you have this image here of this person like holding all the wands and trying to push them and to carry them with all her force, even though she's tired and she cannot take it anymore. So I think that definitely there's a huge sense of guilt. It's like, and what's actually very, very sad about this is that he's not expressing it. He's not talking to anyone about this. He is like handling the situation by himself, and he's probably like pretending that nothing is going on. But that's very dangerous, because he actually should talk to his partner or the person that he's with about how he is exhausted and how he is uh, very close to be tired. You know, I think that he feels so responsible and so guilty. Yes, and a moon in Cancer shouldn't. Because, you know, sometimes moon in Cancer guys, especially male, they are, yes, it's Chen. Um, Actually, they tend to act like, yes, especially the men, they tend to act like, oh yes, I have everything you need, I will have it for you. Yes, you know, like being really, like, you know, like this nurturing figure that it's like, or is ready to satisfy your needs. It's just that I think that it's just that he's a Virgo, but definitely there's a lot of emotions here, but he's not processing his emotions. He's not processing his emotions. This is why I think that it's not beneficial for him to express his emotions, because he needs to express them. He needs to express them because otherwise these are going to come out as symptoms from other side. You know, I actually, in my life, I had dated a Virgo guy with a Cancer moon. So I know exactly what this energy talks about. That is this, like, giving this image that you have everything under control, and that, yes, family life, it's like, yes, I will take care of my family needs because it's what I have to do. I'm the man, I have to. And then eventually they have this compulsive behavior otherwise, or from other aspect of their life, because they don't want to deal with reality. So there's a sense of avoidance here, you know, like, oh, I'm carrying all this weight, so I don't have to talk about how I'm feeling, you know, and probably him being like really talking about how he feels about being in this situation. You know, I think that, and probably no one asked him actually how he's feeling with this, you know, and oh, I mixed the card with the others, but I wanted to show you. I hope that I can find it. Wow, it's gone. You know when you want to find a card and you just, I hit it really well. Here. Can you see that while she is holding these ones, she is also covering herself with them. So this is also what's going on. He's hiding behind his responsibilities as well. He's like, oh, I have so much things to do, I'm busy. So he's not facing what he really feels, or he's not talking about the hardships that he's going through, or how difficult it is to be in the situation that he's in. He hides behind his responsibilities. Probably he doesn't want to talk to his partner or his wife because, you know, probably she is also dealing with a lot of pressure, being a mother and stuff. You know, he doesn't want to, like, to put that much pressure on her. We rarely, yeah, come back then. So was there a next question? Like, I don't remember. I know I said to someone, wait, that I'm going to put this on the list, and I don't remember what it was. So if someone can remind me. I need to write the request down. I have to, the next time I will bring paper and a pen. No, I don't think. I think I asked and we. Did you ask about Shonu? But there was someone else. There was someone that asked me about a very different idol, and I was like, okay, wait, that I have this list, and then I will answer. I don't know if I answered it already, probably. I don't remember. Oh my God. I know it was an idol that is from other groups. NCT, is it NCT? NCT, was it? Someone from NCT? Or Wavy? Kun. No, we mentioned Kun, but it wasn't about Kun. I already read yesterday for Kun. Oh my God, guys, I'm old. Oh, I did talk about, I think I did. Shonu. Okay, let's go with Shonu. Yes, I did answer about, yesterday I answered about them. Shonu. He's the guy that, Grammys. But Big Bang, it's on my last live. Who is your favorite idol to read for? My bias, of course. My bias is my favorite to read for. I love all my bias. I have a special heart, but I try not to get on that level of happiness because I have to be very subjective. So I try to, no, because I mean, I can talk to you guys and tell you, oh yes, my biases, but at the same time, I disconnect. Yeah. Okay. Let's go with Shonu and then the Grammys. Oh, I love Utah. Shonu. He wouldn't be a moon in Capricorn if he didn't have a pentacles with him. um, Shonu is a very productive guy. He's a bit stubborn, He likes things his way, but I think that he's holding on pretty tightly. Just like he holds his coins very tight here. See, she's holding her coin very tight. So this is him holding his status pretty high. He's actually a good he's a good worker. He is someone that he doesn't mind putting the effort. Also, I have other Scorpio biases in other groups. For example, Stray Kids Lino and the boys Chanmin Q. So yeah, I think that he is a guy that he does what he has to do, but under his terms. Like he's very stubborn. I think that he doesn't like people telling him what to do. Honestly, he's a bit resistant to change, So, but I think that he's comfortable where he is. He's not bothered at all. But he's like, okay, I'm going to do what I have to do in the way I want to do it. Nothing less, nothing more. Very, very in his power. Very, very stubbornly, like, I'm staying here, I'm doing here, like, there's no emotions, no strategy, no thinking. No, I'm just here. My body is here. I'm moving my body. I'm doing something routinary, but I don't engage much more than this. And actually, this is the right mentality. This is the right mentality, actually. You like knowing that it's something that it's not forever. That it doesn't define you as a person. Of course, that is important for your country, yes. But he's like, I know that what I'm doing is enough. Like I don't give. I give what I have to give when I have to give it. But he's actually someone very like he's he's a very moon in Capricorn person. He is very reserved. It's like you're not going to get much reactions out of him. Probably if you think that you're going to see him like, it's not that he doesn't make friends of anything. It's just that he takes this experience as a job. As a chore. He doesn't engage much more than that. And actually I think that probably he had people trying to tell him what to do, or trying to like impose their hierarchy on him, like, oh, we know how to do this better. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it my way, because he is this leader vibe. He is the leader still. So he has this mindset of, I'm going to do what I have to do, but in my terms, like in at my pace. You're not going to move me from here. So it's really interesting. For him, it's a job, guys. It's a job. It's paperwork. Yeah, for him, it's like this. And I remember someone yesterday was like, "Oh, do you know a Capricorn with an idol Capricorn with a moon in Gemini?" And I don't recall right now. I actually it's actually really rare now that I think about it. I think that no, no, maybe I have, but I think that it's an outcome. Um, and how they feel about their company. Oh yes, I think I did a few, but they were about the popular ones. Yes, especially YG and SM and Big Hit. But I don't remember actually. For the person that asked this, I don't remember um, the combination of an idol Capricorn with the moon in Gemini. And that probably has to do with that placement in those years that they were born. Sometimes this is why you have idols that have like this a lot of, for example, in my case, I am a Capricorn, and a lot of Capricorn have moon in Scorpio. Probably it's not about the age; it's more about a like it's the way the distance of the planets. So I don't know if maybe Capricorn Sun and to get a moon in Gemini, it's rare to get that placement. Maybe it's about that. Like the other, there was someone that actually mentioned that Shonu is the perfect example, but otherwise, like he is a Gemini Sun with a moon in Capricorn. And this is why sometimes some we have also, for example, in icon we have three moon in Capricorn idols, and they are Aquariuses, because Capricorn and Aquarius are very close. So yes, they are born in Aquarius season, but they do have the Capricorn energy yet. They are influenced by it. That's why the three of them that they are Aquariuses. No, two of them that are Aquariuses. That it's Jay and Chanu, and then we have the other one, the other Aquarius song, that he is a moon in Taurus, but he is an Aquarius. And then we have the Capricorn, that is DK. DK is the Capricorn of icon, but he's a moon in Libra. And Bobby, Bobby is the only fire sign. No, he's not the only fire sign, because actually there's the other guy, the singer, Juno. No, it's not June. Oh, I know his name is spelled like the month June, so I would call him June, but it can be June. No, um, June is an Aries, so I think he also has a moon in Capricorn, June. But for example, Bobby, that it's Sagittarius, he is a Venus and Mars in Capricorn. And I think his Mercury is also in Capricorn. So that's what I want to say. You know, in this group, we have different signs, and actually we have people of the same sign in one particular group. But they both have an element in common, that is Capricorn. This is why for them probably to try something new, I'm, I'm not saying that they are not going to try something new, but they have a traditional style of what they are remembered for. So they will probably reproduce it if they have to like release new content. You know, since they are ruled, the members are ruled by the Capricorn energy, probably they're going to be stable in their activities, but at the same time they're going to show you, you know, the product that made them famous, and they're going to recreate the same style or something like that. Okay, BTS military. It's so complex, this subject, but okay. Oh. The Ten of Swords. Oh, really? The Ten of Swords for BTS. I think that BTS actually in this the enlistment, they are pretty fed up about the subject, and I think that probably the fans also are a bit tired about this. Everyone is tired to hear about this. So you know, like they are a bit like, yes, I am a bit concerned, or you know, but you know, like I always say, these swords are communication, so they represent the internet. You see this female lying on the ground with her phone on her hand, so she's like scrolling through the internet. So probably they are a bit like overwhelmed by the subject. You know, they are like, oh, when people are going to stop talking about it. You know, but since this is the 10 of swords, it means like the end of the suffering. So probably you will hear some kind of like resolution very soon. Because actually I think that what affects them the most is people's expectatives. And I think that there's a sense of, there's a lot of people middling in, and there's a lot of people like having different opinions, that they are just a bit like, it's not that they don't care, it's just that they are so tired of that subject, they just want to get it over with. But you know, since it's a sword card, it's all about communication and feelings, and not feelings, thoughts, ideas, communication. So it's all about getting some kind of report or something like that. Okay, bye. Hello, Samara. So I don't see action, actually. I think that Brave Girls, Cosmic Girls, Kepler, Luna, Hyolyn, and Bibis are going to be on Queendom? We need to pull a card for them. So I think that it's very draining, you know, and I don't see, to be honest, guys, I don't see them going to the military. Because I don't see movement, you know, like, okay, grabbing my bags and going, or someone going. I see like words, you know, a lot of scrolling through the internet, a lot of messages, a lot of, yeah, maybe You know, a lot of paperwork, a lot of very virtual things, you know, but I don't see the action itself. And they're also a bit tired of it. You know, they're like, okay, come on. Like, probably they are waiting for someone to come up with a sort of paper or something. So, yeah, it's also a bit tiring for me to read about the subject. To be honest, I feel in my body, I feel like a bit like, you know, like when you feel like stress and like, it's not only about the stress, it's just that I feel the expectations of people watching here, you know, like in an energetic level of here. Everything about that related causes a lot of drama on a lot of people's minds. So a lot of people are feeling like they are going to die if they go to the military. So there's a lot of emotional component in this decision that actually, you know, like, it seems like a lot of words, but nothing. Words coming and going. Okay, let's see for the new the lineup of. Some people are questioning why Kepler is there because they are a temporary group and they already just finished. Yeah, it's a bit. Because I feel sorry for the girls, but they're going to do great. We're going to pull a card for them individually, but let's go for the lineup in general. The group. I mean, how would actually Queendom is going to go? Because you know that they are a bit worried about the numbers and the ranking and the views also. So let's go. Queendom. The lovers. Yeah, I think that here with the lovers, people are going to watch, but they are not going to know what to do with the content. Like there's going to be a lot of moments of indecision. Like, why am I watching this? Like, you know, like moments of like, oh, I forgot about the show. Oh, yes, I should rewatch it. Yes. A lot of indecision. And also a lot of indecision in the panel or in the judge. So probably if you think that there's going to be a final winner, they're going to change it at last moment. That I think, uh, I don't see what. What? Did you swear? I didn't. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Oh well. Um. So yeah, they're playing with people's emotions, but actually, people don't want to be played anymore. Um, because there's something about Mnet that I think that this is about Mnet, about the survival shows that I think, in my perception, that they do change the numbers at the final moments. You know, like when you think like, oh, this group is going to win it. No, then the other is going to win it. And I don't know if it's very beneficial for a group to win it, because then they have to be stuck with Mnet. So, but for a rookie group, maybe it's good publicity. Look what happened with ATs. ATs actually got a lot more recognition, actually, domestic in their country, because actually here internationally, I think that we are a lot of ITs that know them and appreciate them. But maybe in Korea they weren't that known. So people are going to be very black and white, very like, and also very indecisive. They are not. They're going to be like, like 1 week I'm going to vote for this, and then the other week I'm going to vote for this. So it's going to be a bit confusing. And I think that people are not that interested. I think that they do it for like, uh, you know, when you feel like you have to participate because you feel some kind of weight if you don't, something like that, but not enjoying it actually. So let's see about Kepler, like being in this competition. the hermit. Are we sure they're going to participate? There could there could be like some kind of COVID situation or something where they have to hide or something like that. But there's going to be criticism. So I think that if they want to stay healthy and if they want, or at least if the adults of these the adults taking care of these girls, if they want the group to succeed, they need to get them away from the internet. They need to get them away from the internet. Because other people's comments are going to affect them and are going to affect their performances. So they need to stay away from the internet because the internet is going to eat them alive. People are very very aggressive towards 4th-gen groups. They are very aggressive. Oh, I don't follow Everglow actually. Like, what happened? Is something wrong with them? We can pull a card for them, but like I don't know much about them. I think their music is really beautiful. I actually of the girl, I mean the girl groups, I have a lot of. Okay, bye. Um, and I don't know how to say have a nice meal in English. Because here in Latin America or in my country we say provecho. That is um, I do like of the girl groups that have a lot of integrants. I like Cherries on a Break and Back in China. Oh, okay. It's Everglow and Dreamcatcher. I like this both. And I have to do a reading for Purple Keys. I know a lot of people. Oh, Bon Appetit. Yes, yes, that one, that one. Yes, and I have to do for Purple Keys. A lot of people have been asking me to read for Everglow. The Judgment. So yeah, a lot of rebirths actually. You know, they need to get rid of old ways. There's going to be a change in their circumstances. Yes, they are going through a transformation that is possibly, it's not very comfortable to be in this transformation mode. You know, probably they have to work a lot on himself. There's something also about the group's dynamic that it's a bit complex, you know, and I don't think that it's serious. It's just that there's a lot of point of view and there's a lot of, you know, and this is what I always mention when I talk about groups that they have different dynamics. It's not that they hate each other. It's just that each member has their own way of doing things and their own perceptions of how you can achieve something. So there's obviously always going to be someone with an idea and someone that resists their idea. So there's something about the way they had been managed or that they were managing themselves that has to change. I don't know if a truth is going to come out, if they're going to get some information or they're going to learn something, like find out something that they didn't know or that they weren't aware of, and they will have to go through that unexpected change. You know, that is going to change the whole group. It's going to change the whole group. But it's for the better because I think that some things need to, like, some things need to change about them. Some things need to change. They do need to change. Okay, I'm going to read for Big Bang TOP, and then there was someone asking me for ETs. Didn't I read for ETs? I did read for ETs the last Sunday. Then they got the sun card, and then I'm going to go, guys, because it's going to be 2 hours that I'm here, and I also need to make lunch. So, and you need to move on with your lives. Oh, yes, there are things that need to change. There are things that need to change. But it's going to be beneficial for them. It's going to be a bit traumatic because, changes and probably like transformations, like I mentioned in the beginning, are not easy. But they definitely need it. And there are things that need to come to the light. There are things that can no longer be the same for them. In order for them to keep having this career or them keep having this group, they need to change a few things. Like, I think that they were probably like trying to cover things, and yes, I actually, they got the sun card, my Etini. They got the sun card that it's a card about them actually having a great year. They're going to accomplish a lot of things. So they're going to shine this year. Don't worry about them. They're going to be great. It doesn't matter if they get COVID, because people actually get really, really like worried when they get COVID, when their idols get COVID. But, we are all getting COVID. So, we are all in this process. People having to, like contagion their whole families, not being able to go to work or getting it while you are at work. So, no. I think that the fact that they went overseas because they wanted to change the air a bit. There's something about their homeland. There's something about Korea that actually stresses them a lot. I don't know if people are very harsh on them, like when it comes to criticizing them, but I feel like when they are in Korea, they feel misunderstood. Like people in the industry looks down on them. Like, I don't know if it's the way they look or that they are not the typical beauty standard or actually the pretty idol. There's something about them hearing a lot of people like, that's why they are so like anxious to actually do something more, to keep working on themselves. Yeah, they're this is I think that 80s could potentially have the level of transformation of BTS. How BTS was able to actually like surpass other people's expectations or other people's vision, like about what they were able to accomplish. Oh, because they are not like the other groups, they don't have the glamorous side. They are not that tall. They are not that, they don't fit into what we expect from an idol. So they were able to break themselves free from that. And I think that ATs has the potential to become appreciated because of the energy that they bring. They are different from the others. And I know that probably you're like, oh, I don't know about the songs. I don't know about the, like there are people that call 80s music like, and not only 80s, also Stray Kids music, noise music, and actually it's not, in the case of 80s, it's not so much about the song. It's more about what they do when they are on stage, the energy that they transmit when they are performing. They are enchanting the audience. No one can resist 80s. And that's the power. You can have all the pretty idols of the world, but if you do not have the power and magnetism that 80s has, But there's a prejudice in the background. This is not that is in their in their imaginary, and I think that what's reigning for them is to try to have a, a good relationship with people that they know that they don't like them or that they don't accept them. You know, so it's like when you try to have to maintain a sort of politeness or sort of like polite attitude towards someone that you know that is talking bad about you. But you know, karma, karma happens. That's why people shouldn't like talk down on. Yeah, actually, they weren't said. Hunjun is is a deep thinker. He's a Scorpio, and he has a lot of responsibilities. He's also a creator, so there's a level of stress in him because he feels responsible, and he's the guy that he doesn't let go of things easily. So if he feels pressure to finish something or to deliver something of sustentancy, something of substance, uh, something impactful, something that can reach to the audience. You know, he is very competitive and he wants to be the best, and he wants his group to be the best, and he wants his members to be the best. He worries about the members as well. So it's a lot being him, and he is an emotional person. He is an emotional person. So yes, he does have a moon in Gemini that actually makes him like, probably he's not good at expressing it, but he is good at writing it down and creating lyrics and creating songs. But he is an emotional, chaotic person inside. You don't need to worry about him being emotional, because actually it's his emotions, the fuel that adds to his creation. You know, he's not an average person. You know, he's always wanting to aim higher. He's very intense. He's very passionate about what he does, and it affects him, yes. But it's not, you know, being sad is when you don't have the tools or the opportunity. That's being sad. And actually, I think that he doesn't have time to be sad. He gets frustrated with himself because he doesn't get what he wants, yes. But I think that also a lot of people that are leaders also feel this way. You know, feel very responsible even when they are not in the role of leaders. Because this is the thing. When you are a real leader, when you are a reference to others, even when you are not at work, and even when you are not playing that role, whenever you go, you act like a leader. You never remove yourself from that role. That's why being a leader is different to being a boss. Because the boss is like getting ready to leave at 5. You know, he's like looking at the watch and he's like, okay, I gotta go because I have things to do, you know, and I want to go back to do enjoyable things. And actually, a leader is someone that always carries these attributes with him, even in his personal life, and even if it costs him his personal life, because leaders sometimes they are so obsessed with work that sometimes they ruin relationships because of this, because they cannot stop thinking about work. So it's not all glamorous. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of, you compromise a lot and you put a lot of yourself. And they are where they are. This is their job, and this is also their lives. But there's nothing to be said about. Don't be sad. Don't be sad because they choose this. Okay, what was it? T.O.P. T.O.P. Yeah, Mingy, yes. I love Mingy. Mingy is a sweet guy. He's a sweet guy in a giant's body. He's a sweet guy. Actually, all tall guys are like this. You look at them and they are so tall, and you're like, wow, this person is intimidating. But no, it's just the height. It's just the dimensions of their body. Actually, they are very sweet inside. TOP. TOP. Oh, again, the Six of Pentacles. I think we got the Six of Pentacles twice yesterday in the live of yesterday. So, yes. In the case of top, because this is about top, I think that top is this, in a sense that top it's, he's not going to give much of what they give him. He's going to also control himself. He's like, what do you have to offer me? This is what I got. What do you got? I give you this and you give me this. Okay. Nothing much, nothing less. I think that when, TOP is also a Scorpio, so now that we're talking about Scorpios, he has a moon in Aries. So definitely he is very blunt and he's very straightforward about what he wants. He doesn't fool around with people. And I think that he's satisfied where he is right now, actually. I don't think he wants to do something to make decisions that are that like scandalous. I think he wants to go average. He doesn't want to pour that much energy. He doesn't want drama. He doesn't want to argue with people. He doesn't want to having to fight people or having to defend himself from people. He's like, okay, I have this. I have these tools. I have these attributes. What can you do with this? Give me this and I will give you this. A transaction. He's not like, he doesn't need recognition. He doesn't need fame. He has it already. He's like, okay, I give you this of me. Like, what can you give me? Tension. He even shared his happiness. Yeah, but he's like in this business guy mode. There's nothing emotional about him leading. It's like you're not going to hear all these very tricky stories. About actually like you're not going to hear nothing scandalous. Because he's like, okay, I have this for you. Like, what can you give me? It's all about money. It's a very mundane and material transaction for him. And actually, he doesn't need it. I think that, I don't know about his finances, but I think that he already has everything he wants. So he's like, okay, to the new company, not to YG. But probably it also adds to YG in the sense that he didn't live in a dramatic way. Probably people are like speculating if he fought with someone, but no, he didn't. It's not like that. They gave him what they owe him, and he gave Okay, guys, I'm going to go, and I want to go watch the 10 live as well. When today is his birthday? Because I know someone asked me a reading for him, and I said that I would do it this week because of his birthday. But wasn't it the 27th? Four? I think I'm not a VIP myself. Okay. Okay, because I'm feeling like, oh, maybe he's live because it's his birthday today and I'm already late. Okay, guys, I will finish it here because I still have to start the week with the Tarot Ideal Romantic Partner reading. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining and participating as always. This was fun. So I'll see you possibly next Sunday. At the same time, I think I can do this at the same time at this 10 a.m. my time, so a lot of more people can join because the other time that I did it, I think it's very late. So, oh yes, I'm a cat person myself, and I can understand the feeling of missing your cats. The cats are an energetic force that heals you, that they heal you, they transmute your energy. So when they are not around, you miss them like crazy. So have a great day, guys. Thank you for being here.